Welcome to our Mind the Moment's Thursday morning gathering, brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare and Tufts Health Plan. This is a place where we invite experienced mindfulness instructors to speak with us about what mindfulness means to them and to incorporate these practices into our daily lives and to discuss that, how we can best do that in our busy lives. So I'm Suzanne Rowe Palacino. And within our little Zoom world, I sometimes go like this because to me, she's up here, but maybe to you, she's over here. Tara Healey, founder and director of Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare's mindfulness program. Good morning, Tara.
Good morning, Suzanne. Good morning, everyone, and welcome.
Yeah, welcome, and welcome to our regulars. I'm going to say that first this time. Because we never take for granted our lovely community of regulars that joins us each morning, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. But also a big welcome to anybody that's new this morning. So just for those that are new, today we'll start off with a question. Tara will pose that question to us, and then we'll have a few minutes to chat. And then Tara will lead us in at least a 12-minute guided practice. And again, for anybody that's new, this guided practice will, mostly guided, but also some time within the practice that will be quiet, silent time. So those of us that are getting used to that can just have a little taste of what it's like to be silent in a meditation and see how that works for your bodies and your minds. So with that, if you go to the bottom of your Zoom screen, you'll see you can open up a chat, and in that chat, you'll see at the very bottom, the blue drop-down menu that says hosts and panelists. Click on that little caret, and that will give you a chance to click on that and change it to everyone, and then everyone will see anything you have to share in the chat this morning. So Tara, we are here and looking forward to your question.
Yes, yeah. So my question is, it's really a fill in the blank question. So it is, the kindest thing I could do for myself today is. So the kindest thing I could do for myself today is. And Suzanne, as always, we will go ahead and start with you. And I see that, let's see, we already have one reply right in there, Amy.
I love how people just type right in this meditation because it's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned this earlier as we were preparing. We didn't have a lot of time to think about it. So that's one, and I'm going to think about it for a minute. If you can answer from your perspective first.
No, totally.
Oh, I'm noticing some answers that I feel like I can, Tammy's mentioned get out for a walk, and Julia right underneath has said go to yoga. So those two things right there, I'm going to go with those because those so important, and I'm not doing as much of it these days. So I need it.
Yeah, no, that's great.
What about
and
you,
I think, for me, I noticed this morning that I was rushing. So I was in a rushing mode because I am going to be taking the day off and visiting with a friend and her new granddaughter. And I just have a lot that I have to get done this morning. It's like trash day. And, I keep thinking of all these things. And then I realized like the rushing mode. So for me, I think the kindest thing that I can do for myself is just slow down, because whatever I need to do, it'll get done. So we're slowing down, taking pauses and just noticing my breath. Literally, that I think will be the kindest thing I can do today. Yeah, because almost like once that rushing starts, it's it's almost like, okay, I just want to catch it because that'll be my mode today if I don't catch it.
Yeah. And those of us that I drink like half caffeine coffee, but those of us that have caffeine in our lives, I feel like we can get in that adrenaline mode, where we're just, and we're feeling better. And, first thing in the morning, we have more energy. So I can totally connect with that.
Yeah.
I love that, Tara.
So I just there's a lot coming in.
5 mile walk, John. Good for you.
Yeah.
Sleep in after working late. Rest, slow down,
Huh.
relax, exercise, go out for a walk, go to yoga, more self-patience. The word grace, Karen's added this, give myself some grace. Gosh,
Yes.
that word,
Yes.
that is a loaded word, and it's loaded in so many good ways.
It is. I love that word. Yeah, I
This
know.
session, taking care of my body, patience, a long stretch.
Yeah.
Getting up from the desk each hour to take a short stroll in the house. Teresa's mentioned accepting my tiredness.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, like that's
Yeah.
something many times we just like, oh, is that going to affect my whole day? But
Yeah.
if we don't look at it that way as a downside, we just let it be as it is.
Right. Right.
And then
Yeah.
Janice speaking
It's
kindly.
really, and that's true, I think, with so many things, when we feel frustration or anger or tiredness, the willingness to see it and not let it drive us unseen, because then that we can get in a reactive mode. But the fact that you're seeing it, kind of relaxing into it, and just feeling the physical expression in the body of tiredness, of joy. It's not always negative qualities, and then you're noticing that these things arise, they have a life within you and they move. I mean, that's just the nature of every thought, every body sensation, every emotion. It has the nature to be born, do its thing, and then it'll move on. Um,
Yeah. And with that, Tara, I just love the way you describe that. With that, I feel like if we try to push away these things, they come back with a vengeance,
yeah, yeah,
but if we sit with them, we
yeah,
figure out a way
yeah.
through.
Yes, yeah. I always loved the phrase, "What you resist persists." Right? And now, connected with this practice, that it's so true.
Yeah.
So we're really learning to turn toward all of what's going on for us physically and emotionally, and the turning toward just simply means the awareness of it, and then what's the expression in the body. So you actually come out of the narrative in the head about whatever it is, and just physically feel the body, what sensations are happening as a result of that.
Yeah. Yeah. The body tells us everything,
Yeah,
The
yeah,
body tells us everything.
yes,
So
yeah.
yeah, I love that.
It's considered really foundational to mindfulness. Really, they call it the first foundation. So, yeah.
Hmm.
But I
Yeah.
think we can go ahead and move into practice.
Yeah. Sounds
Then
good.
that'll give us a little bit of time for Q&A, but also anybody feel free to jump off right after practice. But we'll be on till 9 to just, you know, chat and share. All right.
Sounds
So
good.
you can go ahead and assume a posture that feels like it's going to be best for you this morning. That could be standing or sitting, even lying down. Although if you're tired, I would probably not lie down. But standing is a great posture if you're tired. And kind of the rule of thumb with standing is eyes open, but gaze down. So, that just helps with balance. And even if you're sitting, the eyes can be open. The idea is you want to gaze down a bit just to remove peripheral distraction, but eyes open or closed. And just allow your body to settle into your chosen posture. Surrender your weight into the support of the surface. And maintain a spine that is straight but not stiff. See if you can soften the body around the spine that is holding you upright, helping you to remain engaged. And go ahead and take a couple deep breaths on your own. Make the exhalation longer than the inhalation. This will help settle any surface tension from your activity so far today. So go ahead and do a couple deep breaths, settle in. And just notice how your body is this morning. What are the physical sensations that are most prominent? And that could simply be the points of contact with the body and the surface that you're on. It's a really good way to start, is just noticing those sensations at the points of contact. Perhaps you're noticing tingling or a pulsing or a vibration or temperature. Just see, kind of bring that lens of curiosity, kind of what's happening in the body right now. Receptive, curious, open. And no need to struggle against what is, just softening in and receiving. And let's take a moment to be aware of sound, either in the room or outside of the room. And just noting hearing. And let's go ahead and bring awareness back inward and allowing sound to remain as it will in the background. But bringing awareness back in, whole body. Begin to narrow that focus now on the sensations that you're aware of or that are most prominent when you breathe in and breathe out. So that could perhaps be the movement of the belly or the chest, could be the air entering and leaving the nostrils. It may be just simple movement that you're feeling as you breathe in and out, as the body inhales and exhales. And it's also fine to use a different object. So it could be the points of contact with the back of the body and the surface. Could be your hands resting on your thighs. That point of contact could be your anchor. Could be sound. So you have a couple options. Whatever is going to be easiest for the mind to attend to. So a sensation that is most prominent. And each time the mind wanders, we just escort our attention back to this anchor, either breath sensation, sound, or another body sensation. So taking a moment now to just see what's going to work best for you to help anchor, to return the wandering mind to over and over again. And finding an anchor that's going to work for you, noticing where the mind is and reconnecting with that stabilizing force for you, whether that's breath or sound or another body sensation. Noticing where the mind is, releasing thought, soft mental note thinking, soften the body, and return to whatever you're using as an anchor this morning. And again, noticing where the mind is, softening the body and returning to your anchor. And excuse me, as we bring this meditation to a close, may we be peaceful and at ease. May our heart be soft and open. May we be safe and protected, and our bodies healthy and strong. And may the merit of our practice be for the benefit of all beings everywhere. And taking a moment to just reorient to the room that you're in. You know, if your eyes were open or perhaps opening your eyes, just take a minute to look around.
Thank you so much, Tara.
Oh, you are welcome. My pleasure. So happy to be here with everyone.
I can't emphasize enough about the complete revelation that it is that for those of us that have meditated during a time when we thought we were supposed to quiet our minds, and how freeing it is. You know, that's one of the things that many people say that have gone on these sessions with us, that it's like, oh my God, I can't believe all this time I thought that's what meditation was.
Yes, I know. Thank you for bringing it up, Suzanne, because I don't think we can emphasize it enough that we are not trying to stop thought. We're not trying to control our minds really in any way. We're trying to kind of exercise in a way. We're just deciding when we practice, we're not going to entertain that story, that memory, the planning. It's just like, thinking. And the interesting thing with thought, there's always a very subtle contraction in the body that goes unnoticed. So it's like, as soon as you see, thinking, not a problem, soften, and just escort your attention back to breath sensation or another body sensation over and over and over again. That creates some stabilization. And mindfulness, this capacity of seeing clearly, just works better on a steady platform.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've always loved, when you mention that, I've always loved using the words welcome back. Like, like just noticing, and then welcome back is just like, is just such a soft, gentle way to say, oh, you've woken up. Yay.
Yeah.
Welcome back,
So again, Suzanne, thank you for that reminder, because that's what we're doing just over and over again. And the moment you realize you've been lost in thought is you should pat yourself on the back, because you're awake, you're aware, and you know it. You have that meta awareness. Like, that you know where your attention is, as opposed to being lost in thought. When we're lost, it's such a perfect word. We don't know it. But then, yeah.
Yeah, Sheila's also mentioned, she said, amazing that our body contracts with thought. I've noticed that recently. Why?
Yes. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's like just the word that comes to me is tension. That, when the mind starts chomping, the body subtly contracts, and it depends on what it's chomping on. Probably that is proportional to the degree of contraction in the body.
Yeah. And maybe it's that subtle wake up, like the body's like, oh, it's like a neuro reaction in some way. Like we've noticed, and all of a sudden our synapses start connecting again, like.
Yeah, I really don't know the answer to that.
Don't I sound like a neuroscientist? My husband, studied that, so maybe it's soaking in. But yeah, it's a very good question.
Yeah.
I love it. But let's sit on that and see where we turn out. So thank you so much. Anybody else have any questions? Or I love how Tara engages us to share any podcasts or anything that's
book, a podcast, a show, anything that's inspiring you lately, or that you think the community would benefit from seeing or hearing.
I'm just going back to a few things on the chat as well. Colleen mentioned that her kindness opportunity today is to be aware of the small things that occur and be grateful. Yeah.
Yes.
And when I saw that, I thought, if this is something that's coming up for me for maybe next Wednesday to explore as childlike mind, looking at things like that you've never seen before. Like, look at that balloon and how it flies up, like the things that children are just in awe of.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
Michelle, I'm reading Inciting Joy essays.
Oh, wow. Great. Interesting. Okay, I'm not familiar with it. Yeah, thanks, Michelle.
Thank you. Oh, yes. And John's mentioned about the anxiety. I was just talking with someone about that.
Yes, I have a friend who's doing it. Yeah. And Booker is the one leading the practices. And it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really, really good.
Yeah, 10%. I mean, they have so many good teachers. Really just top tier. It's a really good app.
Yeah. And then I like what Sheila's mentioned here. For me, it's been visual clutter lately. That's so, I feel that myself, Sheila, so much. Oh, but first coffee. I think you've maybe mentioned that before, or someone else has. I actually went to it and I really like that. I'm gonna write it down again.
But first coffee? Oh, I don't know that either.
Yes, it came up when I was doing a little search on one of my talks. And
Okay, and
Blinklist,
Blinkist app
Atomic
also.
Habits.
Okay.
Yeah. There's so much out there. It's,
Yeah.
it's so rich. Um, all the opportunities. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't get enough of 10% happier. I'm right there. Sometimes I feel like, oh no, I have to play catch up because I haven't gone on in a couple of weeks. But it's nice that they're there when we need them. So
No, I know. And Spring Washam is a recent guest that and she's really amazing. She's a young woman in San Francisco in the Bay Area. And she's just written a book. I know she's the recent guest, so I'm excited to listen.
oh, and one other, that's good to know. I'm going to send someone's name, Cara Lai, who we've spoken about. She's a young practitioner teacher that is she's training with Joseph Goldstein. She is just the real deal.
Yeah,
in
she's
so
great.
many ways. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She is just, I went on a couple of retreats that through my UCLA colleagues, that she had been part of. And wow, what a rich, rich teacher.
Yeah,
so,
she's great.
So thank you, Tara.
Yes,
thank you for being here. And thank you to everyone for joining us. We'll be here next week. And we have Shanti Douglas coming on Tuesday.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Shanti's so wonderful. So see you soon, everyone. Have a great rest of your week and weekend. Bye.
Bye.